What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we have something new. So I know I rarely talk about shows here. In fact, I can only name two shows from the top of my head that I've actually talked about on this show, on this channel, and that is The Office and Euphoria. And today I wanted to make something special and talk about one of my favorite sitcoms, and that is Friends. Now, I know from the title and from the thumbnail, you're looking at it and being like, wait, this guy likes Friends? And please don't click off. Don't click off. It's not clickbait. It's not clickbait. I'm about to explain why I put it like that. And basically, I want to talk about the thing that I keep hearing everywhere. I legit hear lots of people saying, oh, unpopular opinion, Friends isn't funny. I hear this everywhere. Anytime I'm talking to any of my friends, and when the topic of Friends as a sitcom comes up, I always hear at least one person say, "Oh, Friends isn't funny, don't at me," or "Friends isn't funny, unpopular opinion." I see this everywhere on Instagram. I see this everywhere on Twitter. And look, it's no surprise Friends is probably one of the most popular sitcoms of all time. Why do you think it lasted 10 seasons? And it was very popular at its time. It's popular even now. And I'm going to say this right now. It's in my top 3 favorite sitcoms of all time. It's one of the few sitcoms I can actually rewatch, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of sitcoms. In fact, I don't really like shows that much unless if I get into a show and I watch an entire season of it, and if I'm still willing to watch another season, then a show did something right. Because for the most part, I hate shows. I hate sitcoms specifically. But there's quite a few sitcoms that actually have showed me that I do like sitcoms. It just depends which ones. Same thing with shows. It just depends what I watch. I'm more of a movie guy. I apologize, but I am way more of a movie guy. But anyways, I keep hearing this term "Friends isn't funny," and I'm about to explain what are my thoughts on this. So basically, before I'm gonna put a disclaimer that this is basically just my opinion. This is all just my opinion. All movies, all shows, anything that's cinema or anything that's filmed, it's all subjective. Art is subjective. So this is all my opinion, and I'm not trying to enforce my opinions on you. This is just me speaking out. And basically, I keep hearing so many people say Friends isn't funny or Friends isn't funny. And this is what I have to say. I think out of the 70% of people that I hear say Friends isn't funny are people who have either never seen Friends or have seen very few episodes. And I've always said this: if you're gonna start watching a show or a sitcom, start out from episode 1. And I'm about to explain why. The only show I don't recommend this with is The Office. I don't really like the first season of The Office. This season 2 of The Office is the best season of all time, and it doesn't really you don't have to watch for the first season to understand the second season. With Friends, it's different. The first season is actually really good, and you do have to see this first season to understand what happens in season 2. But I'm not going to talk about season specifically. And the reason why I say this is, look, the reason why people don't think Friends is funny is for 2 things. 1, Friends isn't for them, and that's fine. Not everything's going to be for anyone. I mean, lots of people love Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that's a movie I preach that I cannot stand. I just can't stand Ant-Man and the Wasp. I apologize. Even though I love Paul Rudd, I just can't stand Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just can't. If I go to your house and you play Ant-Man and the Wasp, for the most part, I'm going to be on my phone or just not looking at the screen, because I cringe at Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I know I'm getting a bit too preachy, but that's just one movie that I preach that I just don't like. There's also another movie like Back to the Future 2 that I don't like. It's not a movie I completely hate, but it's a movie I just don't really respect that much. But same thing with Skyscraper. And it's people just don't connect to Friends. Another thing is, if you're only watching a few episodes, or if you're only watching, I've noticed a lot of people, when I tell them, hey, you should watch Friends, for the most part, the first thing they do is go search up Friends' funniest moments. And I'm not going to lie, I did that. Before I watched Friends, 5 years ago, I searched up Friends' funniest moments, and I did not think it was funny, because I remember at Nick at Night, it would always be at 9 p.m. Friends, and I didn't find it funny. The thing about Friends and The Office that they both have a difference. The reason why I'm comparing The Office is because most people that don't like Friends are Office fans. The difference between The Office comedy and the Friends comedy is because The Office, their comedy doesn't just work as a sitcom thing. It works as a people outside that don't even watch the show could find the clips and then find it funny. Why? Because The Office takes this much riskier approach to their comedy. They have much more darker humor. They have more, like, they've made Muslim jokes. They made gay jokes. They made black jokes. While in Friends, I think they've only made like a few gay jokes. And they do make other jokes that are less offensive. And I feel like that's another thing. If you're an Office fan, you're probably not going to like the Friends comedy. Me personally, I watched Friends before The Office, so it didn't really affect me. And the reason why I say that it matters how you watch the comedy is because, look, when you're in a group of friends, there's always this one guy that's considered the funny guy. And when he cracks like an offensive joke, pretend he's a white guy who makes a joke against Asian people. You're probably going to find that funny because you know that friend's funny and you already have like that automatic response. While if he was to make that joke to a group of strangers, they'd be like, what is wrong with you? That's kind of like with Friends. You're not going to get the context if you don't watch the show. I apologize, but you have to watch the show. And watching the show makes everything funnier. Like, before The Office, I was one of those people who never saw it. And lots of people that knew me, that know that I love movies and I love shows, were surprised that I have not seen The Office. I remember I knew this phrase, "That's what she said," was popular. I didn't like that joke for some reason. I thought it was very amateur. I didn't like how it was. And for years, I was like, "That's what she said." How was that so popular? And then not only that, but also the Kevin Malone chili falling. And then when I actually watched The Office, get in the context of what happens in the show, the reason why "That's what she said" is so funny is because that's genuinely what Michael thinks. And then when you hear what people say, like, oh, something's wrong, and then Michael would say, "That's what she said." Or even in the Kevin Malone, the reason why I made that chili thing so funny was because we've seen Kevin Malone as a character, and that makes it funnier. That's why I believe you should watch the show, get the context, and then the comedy. Maybe you won't love the comedy nearly as much as Office, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone who actually thinks the Friends is better than The Office, but I will not lie, The Office has better comedy. That's why I say watch the show, get the context, and then judge it. And I can't stand when people are like, oh, Friends isn't funny. Like I said, yes, you do have that opinion, but please at least give it a chance. I've always said this: don't judge a movie or show at all unless you've seen it. Because there are a lot of people I know that are like, oh, I hate Friends. And then I would ask, have you seen Friends? No, but it looks like the typical white people show. Well, then don't judge it. Now, yes, you can be like, oh yeah, it does look like a typical white people show. Because I will not lie. It is a typical white people show. But does that make it bad automatically? Like, let's be for real. Like, does that make Friends bad automatically? No. And that's a misconception that I keep hearing. And it's like, just give something a chance. That's what I'm basically saying. This wasn't really a review of Friends. Friends really is my favorite sitcom of all time. And I just really wanted to discuss this. I actually have a Friends shirt. I know you guys can't see it, but I have a Friends shirt on. I also have an Office shirt in my closet. I love both of the shows. They're both my favorites. And I know I'm bringing up The Office too much, but that's because, for the most part, people who don't like Friends like The Office, and I kind of wanted to use that as an example. Both of those shows are my favorite sitcoms of all time. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, you're a bandwagon. You can only like one. Because I've gotten that a lot. A lot of people are like, oh, wait, you like Friends and The Office? Oh, then you don't. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a competition. It's like NBC and Warner Bros. It's like, I understand if it's for sports, because I'm like that when it comes to sports. If you support two teams, then I'm like, what? But when it comes to movies and shows, it's like, you do know this is all just for money, right? But anyways, thank you guys for watching. And look, if you believe Friends isn't funny after watching Friends, then that's fine. I'm not going to take away that opinion. It's all subjective. All I'm trying to say is, watch a show before you judge it, before you assume. It's all I'm asking. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying tuned to this video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.